The NBA's premier Christmas matchup. Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks taking on Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics, and an Eastern Conference semifinals rematch. And it also was pretty similar because still no Khris Middleton in this game. Boston, they had their guns, and boy, they're blazing early and often in the first quarter of this basketball game. Al Horford, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown all knocking down three-pointers. Celtics up by 7. Here comes the Greek Freak, the NBA's best player, coming down Main Street, leaving with a jam. Woo! Speaking of best players, though, Jason Tatum is starting to make his case. A nasty crossover ends up with a Tatum bucket. Giannis really was feeling that mid-range jump shot here at 27-9 to lead Milwaukee. How about Sam Hauser beating the first quarter buzzer? Merry Christmas. I'll take that gift. Celtics up still. And then Tatum decides to gift Giannis with a poster. Tatum's got some nasty highlights on LeBron, Durant, and Giannis so far in his still very young career, by the way. That was random. Anywho, Drew Holiday trying to keep the Bucks in this game. At the half, it was only a 1-point deficit for Milwaukee, but trust and believe, it didn't feel like that. Boston controlled this game from start to finish. Tatum going off in the third, just putting on a scoring display. Any way you want it, Tatum gave it to the Bucks on Christmas. He had 41 points, joins rare Boston company for Christmas Day performances. Grayson Allen's going to throw it down, trying to keep the Bucks in this one. But like I said, just too much of an onslaught from Boston, kind of similar to the second round of the playoffs last year. Jaylen Brown goes for 13 in the fourth. He had 29 for the game. The Celtics improved to 24-10. They're number one out east nowadays as they beat the Bucks on Christmas by 21. Well, pretty much the same thing happened to the Milwaukee Bucks that happened to them a few months ago in the playoffs. No Khris Middleton, no chance. I'm going to give y'all an update. I've been watching the Milwaukee Bucks closely. To be honest with y'all, I've been putting a little bit of money, I've been doing my little parlay thing with prize picks and I've been doing the sports book. I was in the Tennessee area recently. I'm going to tell y'all this. I've been watching the Bucks closely for selfish reasons, and obviously I watch most teams anyway. The Bucks ain't look good as a team against some of the better teams out east. They've played the Cavs recently. They played the Nets. They got dominated in both of those games. And then the Celtics pretty much had this game wire to wire on Christmas Day. A couple takeaways leaving the Celtics game with the Bucks. I now have to update what I think about this matchup between these two teams with the way Tatum and Brown are playing right now. What I told y'all a few months ago was the Bucks are for sure beating the Celtics with Khris Middleton in 6 games. I got to remove that now because of what I've seen. I still believe the Bucks with Khris Middleton will beat the Celtics, but out of respect with how great Tatum and Brown have been, I'm now going to say this is a 7-game series, even if Milwaukee's healthy. Tatum and Brown on another level right now, dog. They have improved dramatically. Tatum looking like him. Like him. I'm talking about him. Like he looks like him. All right? Like him. So now we're talking about a 7-game series, even if Khris Middleton is 100% right, which gets me to my next point. Khris Middleton is in a contract year for those who don't know. Khris Middleton will be one of the most coveted free agents this offseason. He is for sure going to get a max deal, whether it be in Milwaukee for the super max that he can get or somewhere else for the most money that they can pay him with one less year. Khris Middleton's going to be one of those guys in free agency. He doesn't strike me as a guy that's looking to leave Milwaukee. I don't see that, but I don't know him. You don't hear a lot about him. The reality of the situation is Khris Middleton ain't been right all year. Like Dylan Brooks was torching Khris Middleton a couple weeks ago. I was dumbfounded. He tried to come back. He shut it down again due to knee soreness. Christmas Day is one of the biggest days for your brand possible. You know that, right? Christmas Day to me is the unofficial kickoff to the NBA season. And the fact that Khris Middleton couldn't get out there for whatever brands that he's got brands. I don't know the brands off the top of my head, but whatever brands he's got, right, deals with the fact that he couldn't get out there on Christmas Day after he missed that Celtics-Bucks series just months ago. And I believe they would have beat the Celtics last year if he were healthy. I'm starting to think to myself, man, Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Will it be able to be fixed this year? Only time will tell. I hope so. I love the Bucks. I like rooting for them. I'm a Lakers fan, but when my Lakers ain't winning, I like seeing Giannis win. I like Khris Middleton in the game. I like Drew Holiday. They seem like a lot of humble guys. I like seeing humble people win. That's who I am in life. But something don't seem right with Khris. Not being able to get out there on Christmas Day, the magnitude of a game like that, top two teams out east, I think it's very telling. After seeing the Bucks lose games recently, blowout fashion to the Grizz, the Cavs, the Nets, I thought he was for sure going to get out there on Christmas Day. I'm not saying he's got to get out there. Obviously, you want him healthy in April, May, June, not December, January. But I just think it's very telling, coming off that injury, that he could not get out there on Christmas Day, and obviously that Bucks team missed him dramatically.